Good morning, students. In the previous classes, we have discussed our lesson nutrition, respiration, and transportation. So, another important life process I am going to explain about it. In this living world, there is no factory which can manufacture a product without generating any waste. If you take any example of any factory, whatever the factory it is, no one factory can manufacture a product without generating any waste. So waste is compulsory. Whether you are producing or the purpose is producing the important product, at the same time the waste is generating from the factories. This is true of our body, which is also a cellular factory. Our body is a cellular factory. Different types of waste materials are formed at regular intervals of time in our body. At regular intervals of time, different types of waste materials are produced. So, waste is generating in our body at regular intervals of time. I am asking you a question: what are that wastes? Where does the waste products produce in the body? How it is removed from the body? What are the materials that present in the waste products? So in this lesson, we are going to learn what are the waste products generating in the body, what the waste contains, what are the materials that present in the waste, and how the waste is removed from the body. So our body regularly consists energy for the surviving and the performance of all biological activities, all the body activities, that is build-up of body, build-up process and breakdown process. Our body requires and need energy to perform the body activities, either it is building up of body or the breakdown of the food materials. The build-up of body is called anabolism. Anabolic activities. Breakdown of activities are called catabolic activities. The activities which are useful for build-up of the body is anabolic activities, or breakdown of the material through the respiration process. The best examples: photosynthesis is a anabolic process. Respiration is a catabolic process. So like this, in our body also anabolic and catabolic activities takes place, and both together is called metabolic activities. Metabolic activities. So in this living world, all organisms need energy. They get the energy from the food materials to perform the all metabolic activities. Through that metabolic activities, different types of products are produced. Do you understand? So through that metabolic activities, different types of materials are produced in the body. Some of them are useful to the body, and some of them are waste that are harmful or toxic to the body. The materials which are useful to the body, it is utilized by the body, and harmful substances or toxic substances must be removed from the body or stored and packed and stored at a particular place. So during these metabolic activities, different types of materials, waste materials are formed. For example, carbon dioxide, water, nitrogenous waste, and excess of salts. Excess of salts. So during that metabolic activities, what are that? So carbon dioxide, water, nitrogenous waste, and excess of salts. In the previous classes, we have already seen that how the waste of the gaseous waste, how the gaseous wastes are removed from the plant body during the photosynthesis, and oxygen during the respiration. So remember, through the photosynthesis process, carbon dioxide, oxygen is released as a waste material. The plants can get rid of that oxygen into the atmosphere. At the same time, during the respiration, the carbon dioxide and water is produced in the body as a waste material. It has to be thrown out of the body in their process. So we have an idea about that respiration and photosynthesis. So among the metabolic activities, the substances produced are very toxic to us, so they have to be removed from the body. So we are going to learn that removal of these materials from the body by a particular terminology, that is removal of this waste from the body by a terminology called excretion. What is that? Excretion. So that's the word excretion involves in the whole process of separation and removal of waste from the body. The term excretion explains the whole process of separation and removal of waste from the body. The excretion is a Latin word. Here ex means out, criner means shift. So it's a Latin, very important. The excretion is the term excretion is a Latin word. Here ex means out, criner means shift. So while the term excretion explains the whole process, separation and removal of waste from the body. So come to the topic. During the different metabolic activities in this living world, all living organisms perform these metabolic activities. In these metabolic activities, useful substances are formed. It can be utilized by the plant body or animal body or whatever the organism it is. Or waste products which are harmful to the toxic substances, they have to be removed from the body. What are the wastes that produce in the body? Carbon dioxide, water, nitrogen and excess of salts. At the same time, what has happened in the body? The water content may increase. Water content may increase in the body. Ionic balance may be disturbed. Homeostasis, it means ionic balance may be disturbed. So at that time they have to be removed from the body. So what nitrogenous waste including ammonia, urea, uric acid, bile pigments and excess salts. These are the very important nitrogenous waste. Once again, the other forms of nitrogenous waste are ammonia, urea, uric acid, bile pigments and excess of salts. Among all the wastes of toxic substances, ammonia is the more poisonous. It is the more poisonous. Ammonia is more poisonous than the all remaining waste materials that produced in the body. So now we are going to see that what are the parts that involves in the separation and removal of the waste materials from the body. It is none other than the excretory system, that is the kidneys. Kidneys plays a vital role in the removal and separation of waste from the body. Now we are going to see that. So the structure, the internal and external structure of the kidney. So the excretion in human beings, the excretion mainly takes place through a urinary or excretory system. So see this excretion in human beings. In human beings, the excretion mainly takes place by a urinary or excretory system. The excretory system contains a pair of kidneys, series So the human excretory system mainly contains a pair of kidneys. So these are kidneys. A pair of kidneys, a pair of ureter, bladder, and urethra. So the human excretory system mainly contains a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, bladder and urethra. So here is one of the activities there, how to observe the internal and external structure of the kidney. For this we required some materials or apertures. We required the freshly collected kidney of the sheep or goat. Freshly collected kidney of the sheep or goat from a butcher, sharp blade, needles, a jug of water and a bowl. So procedure. Before coming to the class wash the kidney under the water, tap water thoroughly, so all the blood in the kidney is drained off. So we can easily observe the internal and external parts of the kidney. So what are the parts that present in the kidney? If you think, cells of kidney, so it appears like this to us. So it appears to us like this. So in human beings, there is a pair of bean-shaped reddish brown structures in the abdominal cavity attached to the dorsal body wall, back side of the body, dorsal body wall, one on either side of the backbone. Once again, in human beings, there is a pair of bean-shaped reddish brown structures in the abdominal cavity. So just below the navel, abdominal cavity, one on either side of the backbone in the dorsal body wall. These are the kidneys. What are these? These are kidneys. So here we get a bit. So what is the shape of the kidneys? It's a bean-shaped structures, reddish brown bean-shaped structures. So and again, the right kidney is placed just below the left kidney. So okay, so right kidney, it is placed just below the left kidney. What is the reason behind it? Okay, its right kidney is placed just below the left kidney. What is the reason behind it? Think it so. I will explain about it. So the size of the kidney is 10 centimeters in length, 5 to 6 centimeters in breadth, 4 centimeters in thickness. So these are the measurements of the kidney. So the kidney is 10 centimeters in length, 5 to 6 centimeters in breadth, 4 centimeters in thickness. Okay, so the outer side of the kidney is convex. The outer side of the kidney is convex. And the inner side of the kidney is concave. So like this. The inner side of the kidney is concave. Okay. So the outer side of the kidney is convex. The inner side of the kidney is concave. The right kidney is placed just below the left kidney because here the liver is present. Liver is present above the right kidney. Because of that, the right kidney is placed just below the left kidney. We know very well the liver is the largest gland in the body. Okay, so it is the convex on the outer side, concave on the inner side. The right kidney is placed below the left kidney because the liver is present above. If you observe carefully, the inner surface of each kidney, has a hilus or fissure for the entry of renal artery, for the exit of renal vein and ureter. Okay. Listen. Inner side of each kidney has a hilus or fissure for the entry of renal artery and the exit of renal vein and ureter. Renal artery brings oxygenated blood. Renal artery brings oxygenated blood loaded with waste materials. Renal vein carries deoxygenated blood. Ureter brings urine from kidneys to the bladder. It carries the urine. Okay. Do you understand this? Now, so this is the internal and external structure of the kidney. Internally, if you observe carefully, the kidney has the dark colored outer zone. The kidney has dark colored outer zone is called cortex. The dark colored outer zone is called cortex, and the pale inner zone is called medulla. So the dark colored zone of the kidney is cortex and the pale inner zone is called medulla. Each kidney is made up of approximately more than 1 million of microscopic thin tubular functional units called nephrons. So what are those? Nephrons. So nephrons 1.3 to 1.8 millions. So each kidney is made up of approximately more than 1 million of microscopic thin tubular functional units called nephrons. So nephrons are known as the structural and functional units of the kidney. What are the structural and functional units of kidney? Those are nephrons. Okay. So up to here, this is. Now I am going to explain the structure of the nephron. Structure of the nephron. Okay, carefully follow this, boys.